All right. So you ready to talk about some weed?
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
How you like that? I like that line. Come for the info and stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. You know, and our slogan, as many of the slogans in Pax Stereo TV, was coined by the very gifted Victor Allen, is resisting the miseducation of marijuana. You know, so give it up. And that's what we do. We resist the miseducation of marijuana. And one of the things that we do is we give you some insight into the politics. And one of the big things that's happening here in California is that legalized marijuana has presented some struggles for the infrastructure. And, well, for who? Well, really for the people who intend to make money on it, because the legalization of marijuana, which I support and I enjoy, it's part of my everyday, comes with the issues of marijuana marketing and sales for others here in California. This is where it's kind of a mess. Everybody's talking about how mixed up it is, how mostly there's more black market sales of marijuana than there are legitimate. And I'm saying as it should be. What? What? Are you advocating breaking the law? What? No, I'm not advocating the breaking the law. I'm saying it's not surprising because the licensing of marijuana shops here in Los Angeles has been horrible and seemingly tainted with racial overtones. For one, the places that are all seem to be getting their licenses are in the white areas. Okay, now I understand they're saying one thing and the people are saying another thing. Okay, but again, it seems to always follow the same old, same old. Now, not that I mind that, because in the places that are licensed, the taxes are ridiculous. I believe I have to go find the exact receipt, but I think on the $250 purchase, I had like $80 of tax.
Jeez.
How does that help? Okay, and even in LA, I think they're redoing the way they do the licenses, whatever, for the 5th time. So, I was saying, when you really look at it, imagine the marijuana industry defined in a grassroots way. I'm just making observations. I'm not advocating anything. I'm saying I can see the future, and what it looks like to me is that because you're allowed to grow marijuana here, and everybody is allowed to grow X number of plants, you're going to see marijuana plants everywhere. People's backyards. Right. You're going to go to a barbecue over Aunt Sally's, and she's going to have a whole plot of marijuana, which she doesn't sell, but she may give you, and you could, and she'll have a suggested donation to her favorite cause, which is her rent.
Right.
So her favorite cause, which is her rent, you could donate, and she may even have a suggested donation of about, $25, $30 an ounce.
I'm going to ask you something. You bring up a good point. With all this uncertainty, that can't put the weight on policing as much. So how are they going to approach the policing of this, man?
There is no policing. So imagine this. Right. So they're going to have someone. How are they going to know you're breaking the law? They're going to have to come out to your shop and see that you don't have a license. How many shops are there? How many people do you have working on this? That's why it's not happening. The shops are popping up so fast and moving, they can't get to the shops.
So let me just ask you:
They can't get to them.
is this a fruitful and beneficial time for the enterprise producers and developers?
Fruitful for me.
Seriously. So
See,
I
here's
just want
the
you to
thing.
cut to the chase.
They haven't made it better. This is the way it feels like. When they license the weed, it's way, way more costly, and it's also weaker weed.
Right.
So you say, well, you're protecting us with the safety. And we're going, well, it was safe before until you poisoned it. Because the people who were poisoning weed was the U.S. government. Okay?
Right.
So we go, all you have to do is not mess it up and leave it alone. It'll be okay.
So are you trying to inform those that there's some watered down weed coming?
I'm saying you may have to do a trade with Sally down the street.
Oh, here we go.
With Sally, who's
So
growing
Sally,
her
right.
own organic weed. Sally may give you
Right.
a couple ounces a month in return for her suggested donation of you mowing her lawn, doing her garden, and picking up her groceries.
And that's the worst concern right now, you're saying.
I'm saying I don't have any problem with black market marijuana.
See, this is why I was trying to get
First
at,
of all,
man.
what they're forgetting is
What?
my whole life, that's what I've been buying is black market marijuana.
Right. That's what I'm.
This is the first time we've had whatever.
Whatever's
That's
coming.
black market. What is this? White market marijuana?
All you want is cost effective,
Oh, Lord.
and you want it to be significantly impactful when you ingest it, right?
I'm saying the authorities aren't making the situation better at all. The best thing
All right.
about marijuana legalization is marijuana legalization.
Right.
Marijuana licensing is a farce and designed to make money for certain people.
Well, okay, so are we repeating the prohibition alcohol theme here?
No, we ain't go. I'm for legalization nationwide.
You see, that's what I'm saying.
Because it's good. I just feel sorry for y'all because it's good here in California.
Hey, Mario, I got a question.
It's good here in Cali.
I got a good one for you. Now, just think
Lord.
on it. Is it easier to driving with marijuana or driving while black?
I mean, driving with it in your car?
Yes.
Because we certainly don't want anybody. That's
Oh,
part,
no, I'm
you
just
shouldn't
asking.
drive. That's part of the reason why I Uber.
Because there's so many people. Cars driving. There are cars.
They're gonna.
Yeah.
The people they bust for marijuana are black. The people who sell marijuana in the hood are black.
Right.
The people they get it from were white. The biggest
Right.
suppliers were white.
Right.
The biggest thing we used to say during election time, the weed would get tight, right?
Right. Of
Because the
course.
rich white folks whose boats and stuff it was coming over.
So you have to sell what they're doing.
During the
enforcement.
election, it used to be
Yeah.
notorious
Right.
that you would have to buy your weed ahead of election time because during elections you couldn't get weed.
So are you saying now with this election coming up,
And I wonder why.
everybody should keep close to the vest? 'Cause the
No,
election
now
time-
this is gonna be weed everywhere.
everywhere. What about prediction? Somebody's going to be smoking a joint in the Republican or Democratic convention. Who do you think will be first?
They're gonna be vaping. They're gonna be
Right.
first of all, both conventions gonna be full of people on marijuana edibles.
That's
They're
what I
gonna be
said.
fucked up
Right.
on some marijuana
Right.
edibles.
All right.
No, not none of their breath.
Right.
You know, when I was in the hospital for surgery for my back, and they kept me comfortable, you guys. They did. But just sitting in the hospital
You know.
all day,
Right. I
all
know.
day long, just in that bed watching the thing. I mean, they had me comfortable. They had the pillows. I was going nuts. I called my good friend and asked her to go by my house.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you go up in my bedroom. You know the closet. Yeah, go get my shit and bring me my edibles.
Right.
And I had those edibles in the hospital, and that's what made the hospital tolerable.
Yeah.
Hospital would not have been tolerable without edibles.
Right.
So I'll say it. And I have vaped in the ER without them knowing because they couldn't smell nothing.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if people say, Mario, I don't care. I'm dosing, take care of myself, treat my anxiety. I know how to treat anxiety. I treated other people's anxiety. I'm board certified as I speak. Okay.
There's a
I wish they
there's-
would come out of me. I wish they would come after me, Vic, because I sure would make it a story.
There's a nurse Ratchet
I sure would
who
make
is
it a
really
story.
loving her job going like this. I got him when he comes in here. I'm Nurse Ratchet. I'll get his ass. You know,
Get my ass.
it's
They
gonna
would
be
get
one.
my ass. That's
It's
what
gonna
we
be
talking
one,
about.
man.
What we talking about getting me, because some of them got me.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, it's another story. It's
All
different
right,
time.
all right.
Okay, let's talk about progress as the election comes forward. You know, legalization marijuana. Vic made a point earlier, pointing out in terms of the candidates, is this gonna be an issue? Well, let me just tell you, Vic, Joe Biden just came out with something. He said,
Why you laughing, man?
because Joe Biden was questioned about legalizing marijuana, and his quote was, "Well, let's figure out if it's a gateway drug first." So, Joe, if you don't want to seem old and irrelevant
It's
and
too
out
late.
of touch,
It's too late, man.
stop saying things that are old and irrelevant
And out of
touch.
because he's doing it.
And
man.
that are not even true. Gateway drug, the biggest gateway drug is alcohol. That's the drug teenagers have been using the most for years.
Right.
The gateway drug is alcohol. What drug complicates more ER visits than any other drug by far? Alcohol.
Everybody knows it.
Okay, so please, it's that scotch or that Grey Goose you having, that's the issue, Joe.
E and J, and everybody else, right?
See, and you know what's so bad, Vic? It's because I'm 63. I'm one of them old black folks that we kind of have a sort of fond place for Joe, and why? Because when they were openly disrespecting black people, Joe Biden, while he didn't say, "Don't do that,"
He was an enabler.
he said, he was so sure. He would turn around and be nicer
Right.
to black people, but he still went to dinner with all the racists and said, "Oh, you guys, you should," he probably was going, "Man, stop being so hard on the black people. Stop being so hard." And he did side with black folks in general on certain things and certainly not on others. There's a bunch of things he sided with the rest of the white folks for the time. Right. So he gets like the old racist kind of boss that liked you.
Right.
Everybody had one of those. Kind of the bigoted white person in your life, but they like you. And so you give them a pass on a bunch of stuff because you feel like they're changing.
Hey, look, true.
I mean, we all got them. You go like, listen, this is my friend. They're kind of a bigot, even against me.
Yeah.
But they're growing. And my spiritual side tells me they're growing. I care for them, and it's a complex world. So that's who Joe Biden is, you guys. That's who he is.
You can't. Okay, I know this may not be a measurement or not, but if Joe says, I tweeted today, would that be news?
He would probably meant he passed gas.
Okay, so
that's what he probably meant. If he said I tweeted, he'd be like, "Oops, excuse me."
So
excuse me.
When you see
smelly.
So you and I both know you don't put somebody in a position to try to communicate to today's culture when they haven't practiced it because they can fall on their face flatly. But now here's the other part. Because he's in a time warp, do you think he's connected with the progressive thinkers of the youth movement where even if they're liberal or moderate or whatever, they're going to still seem disconnected from
No, he's not connected. In fact, let me tell you something. Go take a look. Now, I'm not trying to start no shit.
It's too late, man.
Go take a look at Obama's recent statements.
Yeah.
Okay, see where you feel.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Okay, I'm just saying, go take a look at Obama's recent statements, and go take a look in terms of what he says about the candidates.
Yeah.
So again, some folks, as much as we like Obama, he was not about change. Okay, not affecting. We could go through this whole the healthcare
That's
thing.
a whole different subject, man.
We have a whole discussion because it still made money for the same
Oh,
old
man.
people.
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. Okay, so I just invite you to go look because as much as I have loved our former president's look and the vibe he communicated nationally, he had a bunch of policies I didn't agree with, and he was not about significant change.
And let me say this to add on to
He wasn't.
it. Let me say this. Now you guys are getting a taste of what he was up against during his time in serving. The monster was looming large. For the most part, you didn't get a taste of what was happening. This is not excusing policy. I'm just letting people know. I said, I want you to know there's a comeback that says, this is, if you're going to get there, you may have to capitulate. You may have to this, but the monster is behind the curtain. And most of us don't know what that's like. That's why I stop and say, until any of us are behind the room with the most powerful people who are traditionalists in certain ways, then you will understand, do you have what it takes? And I'm going to give something to some people who will be our parents or our parents' parents. I forgot the name of the movie. All you got to do is go look at Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. I forgot the name of the movie. It is an indictment on how things are today. And it was 1948, and I can't even remember the title. So I watched it, and I said, oh, man, you can play that movie today. Today. What he has to do is sit in the room with the ones that's going, oh, no. This is what you're doing. At the end of the day, he has to make a judgment. His wife is on one hand, say, stay with your principles, but you need to get in there to make change. But can you go through the war room to make change? So I'm just saying, man, y'all need to go, not y'all. Let me keep him less country. You all need to go. Check out a little bit of the movies that will entertain you so you don't have to do the history lesson.
All right. So marijuana is politics.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze